they say. Okay, we are back. All right, so Matt and I are going to go ahead and interview Chet Holzbauer. He's the originator and organizer, along with Josh Holzbauer, of the Madison Tecmo tournament. So, welcome, Chet. How was the tournament so far this year?
Well, I think it's been an absolutely amazing tournament. We've got a repeat Final Four matchup, Soby against Jim Pondempo, a rematch of Tecmo 4, I believe. Then we have a complete unknown, Seth from St. Louis, Missouri, who has sort of taken the tournament by storm. And then again, we have Mort, who benefited from some breaks in the Elite Eight to beat James Thomas, also known as Skunker of Best in World.
Now, has anybody ever repeated in the tournament?
No one has ever repeated in this tournament, but the only way we avoid a repeat champion this year is if Seth Bachelier wins, because the remaining members of the Final Four have all won it before.
Really? And how does it make you feel as a tournament organizer to have such a depth of talent that 3 of 4 of the Final Four participants are champions?
I gotta say, I'm not real pleased with the Final Four this year, simply because a number of guys that I was rooting for are not in it. But you really gotta hand it to these guys. They're getting the job done. It's not easy, but they're getting it done, and others aren't. So tip your hat to them.
All right, now we're running against time constraints. We're going to start the Final Four games. Are you ready to start those Final Four games?
We are about ready to start the Final Four games. I'm going to go make an announcement, and we're going to get the ball rolling.
All right, thanks a lot, Chet, for interviewing with us today. So it's kind of that time at the Tecmo tournament where you got a lot of people out there like, all right, why aren't we going? And you know, it takes a little while to organize. So, man, how was your tournament day? As we're announcing the Final Four and bringing everyone up to speed on what's going on. How was your tournament day? Did you enjoy it? Was it good, bad? My tournament day. Let's see the floor to
on the right side, we have the defending champion, Francis Mort. And his competitor will be Seth Bachelier from St. Louis. Yeah! Come on, guys. Good luck to everyone.
So for those of you keeping track, if you're down with us, Seth Bachelier is Virtuoso or Tecmo Virtuoso on the boards and online. So that's who if you know who he is, that's who's in our Final Four. He's one of the classic guys who's just played with a group of friends. He's better, so much better than them, and well, not better than them in life perhaps, but in Tecmo. Really, he's better at Tecmo. And decided to take it to the next level. All right, so we had our first coin toss with Seth, with Virtuoso and Mort. Francis, you win or lose? Mort. All right, sorry for the delay. Francis won the toss and will be picking against Seth. In the Jimmy Soby matchup, we haven't had a coin flip yet. I got to think that Francis is going to go low tiers. That's his MO. I'm thinking Francis might have saved a Miami Rams matchup for this tier, for this stage of the tournament. Really? That seems. He's told me in the past at the Boats Midwest tournament that is his preferred matchup. When he needs to win a game, he likes that Rams Dolphins. Yeah. All right. So it looks like we've got Atlanta. And I'm trying to spot. It looks like Mort has picked Atlanta. I'm not sure who it is that he is facing up against. We're not going to be seeing that live. You guys are seeing right now, you're seeing the beginning of the game as Soby and Von Tempo in a classic matchup are basically flipping. Alright, Temple won the toss in his matchup against Soby. In the Mort Seth Bocklier game, we've got Atlanta and who else? I don't know. I gotta wait for that secondary. Yeah. The special guest, we've got Ben Peugeot, known as BG Bow, too. We'd like to say hi, Brett. Go on.
How's it going? Lost to Mort, gave him a battle.
He is a Final Four guy. He's a championship guy. He's tough to take down.
That's nothing to hang your hat on, Brett. That's nothing to, I mean, you know.
And a fun game. I enjoyed being trash talked by the crowd. Actually took more time. There was a bigger, it turns out there was a bigger New York contingency here than Texas.
You would think that. It's kind of strange. We're looking at a Falcons-Cardinals matchup in the Mort Seth. Mort Virtuoso is a Falcons-Cardinals. It's a classic matchup, I would think, Matt.
Who do you, I gotta go with the Falcons on this one.
I would always go with the Falcons.
Horizon is the difference maker.
It looks like, I agree with that wholeheartedly, especially against that Cardinals secondary. Horizon is enough to get past Lonnie Young and Tim McDonald. In the Bontempo Soby game, it's looking like a Chargers Broncos matchup with
Chargers Broncos. Now that is classic. That's AFC West.
AFC West.
It's two good running backs, two crappy quarterbacks, and a couple of wild cards on defense. San Diego having the slight edge.
I would think San Diego, just with Butts and that defense, O'Neal, Bird.
Because you've got Gilbert.
That's a tough matchup. And it looks like, from what people are doing, it looks like Morty McFly may have the Cardinals. But I can't guarantee that right now.
It seemed like
I'm good. Yeah,
it seemed like Mort was changing the team from the Falcons.
Yeah, it looks like Mort was expecting Seth to take the Cardinals. He was very disappointed. Wow. He had his head in his hands for a second while determining that playbook. It's a difficult call. We've got a lot of conversation between Soby, Jim, and Mort right now. We're going to try to find out what's going on.
And I'm trying to tweet this, and very unsuccessful.
Oh, Joel! What we're trying to do is get in touch with our sideline reporter, Matt O'Toole, right now. It's looking like Bontempo is as the Chargers. Now, Matt, what are the problems with that Chargers offense against the Denver defense, if any?
Well, if you're Bontempo, you're basically going to be running the ball all day, and you're going to be rolling out with Tolliver. So it really minimizes the suckiness of Tolliver.
Well, why would you stick Tolliver? I mean, Vlasic has enough ball control. Are you willing to risk Tolliver against that Denver defense? What you secondary is kind of bad.
What you want is Tolliver for the bird, because you can go back and you can gameplay against Vlasic, but you can't read.
If you call anything other than right A, left B, down B against Bontempo, you've had one too many retard sandwiches for lunch.
Right off the bat, if you can hear, since we're going to get a slight delay, we've got a quick play by the Falcons, which appears to be Mort, actually, as opposed to Seth. I'm going to actually try to get into our sideline reporter, Matt O'Toole, to give us a confirmation on that.
Called it.
Oh my God, where is he?
Is Mort?
I think Mort's the Falcons.
All right. And we go live with an update to Atlanta.
Real early scoring out of the gate here, Atlanta. Falcons take the opening kickoff. Mike Rozier up the middle for about a 70-yard run, and then Chris Miller throws a touchdown pass. Extra point pending. It's 6-0 Falcons.
Mort well on his way to making it to the finals. It's early. I know the Cardinals have a very prosaic offense and a tough defense, somewhat at that level. I think that Seth can bring it back if he runs with Giant Johnson. Isn't that your decision, Matt?
Mort's got the juice today, man.
So it looks like we're getting an update from our sideline reporter, Matt O'Toole, that Mort is out tapping Seth. That could play into his hands. Matt, how important is the tap in a game of Tecmo?
Well, if you're talking about a couple teams like this where you're basically struggling to move the offense, the tap is the difference between a no gain and a gain of 5. Basically between moving the chains and not.
Really?
Fucking A, it is.
I'm just making sure we're on the same page here because I found that if you run the right playbook, you can at least get someone to bump off, especially against the Falcons. They have Dion and that's about it. If you run at Dion, you at least might be able to get some blockers up if you choose the proper play.
Yeah. Quite frankly, I don't know what they have for a playbook, and it doesn't have. The Falcons are on offense right now, so
well, they did force a punt. Now that is a discussion I wanted to have with you. What is punting in Tecmo? Are you pro punt or are you anti punt?
It really depends on situation. Most times I'm going to say anti, but if you're talking about, once again, teams that don't move the ball a lot, it's all about field position because you can stop the other guy.
In a Falcons-Cardinals game, though, there's very little defense that's going to be played. I would assume it's going to be a lot of bombing, a lot of deep passes. Though with Von Temple, we're going to see a lot of Chris Miller. Is that kind of a concern? Oh, sorry, I bring that back from Mort. Is that a concern for Mort that Lonnie Young and Tim McDonald secondaries?
It's not necessarily because he is so good at finding open receivers. So he's going to spread you out. You can cover one guy with Lonnie Young. Hell, you can cover 2 guys, but you can't cover everybody.
But and here's the thing:
Mort is moving the ball.
But once you get past Rison and Dixon, aren't you going to run into?
I think you're forgetting about former Heisman Trophy winner Mike Rozier. But at the University of Nebraska,
Mort does not run a lot. He's definitely.
He's just got to do enough to be.
And we're going to do a live update from Atlanta.
A lot to cheer about today for the hometown Falcons. Chris Miller just connected the second touchdown pass of the day, and the 13-0 Falcons. Greg Davis went through the uprights, and after only 1 3-and-out for the Cardinals so far, they're about to get the ball back. Second quarter, 14-0 Atlanta.
What was with that 3-and-out, Matt? That seems kind of odd that there would be a 3-and-out in a Tecmo game.
Well, I think Mort had some good play calling on defense. They've been scouting the opposition really well and got the jump on them early. And I think the crowd noise at the Georgia Dome also had an effect on Tim Rosenbach.
And while we're watching this game, we're completely ignoring the epic Soby versus Von Tempo rematch.
I will admit, we are ignoring it only because I've seen 2 punts so far. This is a great sport by Tempo right now.
It's 4th and 1.
Is this the kind of move that you would like to see from your offense if you're the Chargers?
If you're Von Tempo, you got to think, I can get a yard. I don't know if you can necessarily out-tap Soby, but you can muster a yard. He calls Von
goes with the Von Tempo.
Not only does he go Von Tempo,
oh wow, and that's going to be tough for Mecklenburg to run that down. That's 63 by Bonds. That's
classic Von Tempo.
Von Tempo with a classic move. Now, knowing how Von Tempo plays, Matt, if you're Soby, isn't that what you're calling every time?
Well, that's one of those deals where it's so obvious that it's too obvious.
And it looks like we got something from Atlanta. Have you been watching this game too, Matt O'Toole?
Yeah, just the problems continue to mount for the Cardinals. Tim Rosenbach throws an interception inside his own territory. Mike Rozier now going in for a score, going to put the Falcons up 21-0 on a 30-yard run.
That is a deep hole to climb out of.
It seems like the end of the Cinderella story. I mean, I don't mean to say that I called it, but I called it.
Well, I have to question.
Mort is just playing too good.
I honestly have to question why anyone would willingly take the Cardinals. What are the advantages with that Cardinal offense? You're really not getting much out of that offense.
Well, you think you can be mobile. You think you have a little bit more on defense.
But you're running into the problem of Rosenbach or Tupa. That's a quarterback you just can't rely on if you go down early.
No, you definitely cannot get down early with late scoring. You have to ball control. You've got to move the chains, and he's just not doing it.
And
we are facing another punt from Soby.
Wow, I've never seen Soby punt so much in a tournament.
I tell you what, James Von Tempo.
Mort's winning every game.
James Von Tempo is playing some defense.
Is it the defense, Matt, or is it really the Broncos just being outclassed in that front seven against that weak Broncos front line?
The Broncos front line is going to hold up all right, and he calls the Bontempo, and Bontempo gets back to the...
Yeah, but you have to suspect Bontempo's going to be running that right A again.
He's probably going to call it again. I'd be surprised if he didn't. And look at this. Call it again.
He calls it again.
Oh, he fumbled.
That's a fumble.
Oh, my God.
That's a turnover. Oh, Soby can't get the Bucky back.
Will he call it 3 times in a row? Probably.
I don't know if he's going to go with it on third
thinking,
down.
though. He's thinking.
I honestly think he's going to go with a pass play, run with the quarterback, and then third run.
I don't know if he can get...
I think he can get 4 or 5 yards out of this, though. But here's the thing.
He's got Anthony Miller.
Oh, wow.
All alone up there.
What do you think about the decision, man?
That's obviously Soby went run. Again, wide receivers all over the place. All you have to do is minimize the bomb on that one.
And we have an update from Atlanta.
We just finished halftime in Atlanta. Al Del Greco splitting the uprights as time expired in the second quarter. Cardinals get something on the board, a little momentum, receiving the ball after halftime, 21-3 Falcons, starting the third quarter.
Bontempo with that quarterback, he's so deadly.
It's tough to play Bontempo with that quarterback.
You run out of patience, and is he going to run 3 again? I mean, it seems like he will.
I think we will.
No.
Here's the thing, man. I'd like your analysis on this one. I've noticed playing Bontempo enough, and Bontempo loves going down. Do you find as a Tecmo player in the Tecmo 16 that running down constantly gives your opponent an advantage? Because as a defender, you know that he's only going to go down. Now in this one, he does run up and show, the exception of the rule, but he's been getting a lot of yards towards Gilbert. Is that strategy or is that just habit for Montana?
That's more habit. I mean, you become accustomed to running near the end zone, or basically near the yard line, so that you can get your quarterback out of bounds so he doesn't fumble.
But what happens if now he's at the bottom hash? So is he at the bottom hash, or is he going to run down again, or is he just going to run all the way?
Well, he's going to run Bontempo.
This has got to be maddening for Soby. He's got to know what's coming.
And he can't stop it.
And we have a live looking from Atlanta again.
And this could be the end of the Cinderella story set as we know it. After throwing a second pick in this game, Mort works the arrow trick for a 50-yard touchdown to Andre Rison. Now puts the Falcons up 28-3 third quarter.
Thank you for that update, man.
That was a big stop there by Soby.
Mort's player 1, so I think Mort might have taken it.
Oscar I can't believe he cut it inside there.
Really, was it with Bunt or was it?
Bontempo had a run to the outside with Butts and was so intimidated by his happy to Soby he cut it inside, got stopped for the loss. He's Bontempo one more time.
You have
touchdown, Hater.
You have to question Soby's reliance on not calling that right A, and B, choosing a defensive back that close to the
Well, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I guess. And we begin another live looking from Atlanta.
I will be asking for a raise after all the work that I've had to put in this game. Cardinals send the ball over again, and on the next play, Mike runs here, 35-yard touchdown run. It's all over. They're warming up the bus to get back to Phoenix, and Mort is getting ready already for his final game.
Wow. Thank you,
Not
Madison.
only looking to become the second champion, but consecutive.
That's tough. That is a
How do you run through a field of 144 for the second time? This is amazing.
That is a very tough play by Mort. It's a great matchup. Well, I just have to think that Seth was just outclassed. And we go to another live look into Atlanta.
This is an absolutely atrocious matchup choice. Phoenix, Atlanta. Phoenix is terrible. And for anyone who didn't notice, in Tecmo 6, Phoenix was listed as the GOAT because they're awful.
Chime in.
Phoenix turns it over once again, just about to start the fourth quarter, 35-3, and it looks like it's going to be more points for Atlanta. Mort is just having its way down inside the 10-yard line. Falcons knocking on the door once again.
We're going to stop our live look-ins in Atlanta. This is just getting out of hand. Don't you think, Matt?
Yeah. Somebody turn off the lights because that one's over.
We're getting near the. Now, for those of you who don't know, Madison does have a partial skunk roll. We are reaching the partial skunk roll. Mort punches it in, that's a skunk roll because he's up 28 in the fourth quarter. Now, technically, he still is up 28 right now, but we want that final touchdown.
Stop this game.
We actually can stop this game.
Oh my God!
It is up to the tournament director to choose whether or not to stop this game. Now I'm going to bring the tournament director in for his official decision. So Chet, are we going to reach a point where Francis punches another one in here? He's choosing a field goal, but if Seth doesn't score in his next drive, we're going to have to kill this game. It's going to be 38-3, which is an insurmountable lead in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's clearly out of control. I don't know how you pick a Phoenix-Atlanta matchup. I don't get it. It's the Cardinals. They're awful.
But here's the thing, Chet. Since you're an experienced Madison Tecmoer, Mort appears to be the one who chose the matchup. If you're Seth, why do you go with the Cardinals?
You would have to ask Seth that. For the life of me, I cannot come up with a reason why anyone would choose Phoenix over Atlanta. If I'm Atlanta, all I do is drop back and throw to Horizon and laugh.
Thank you, Chet.
Cardinals are basically the hot girl who is also your cousin. They seem tempting, but you should not pick them.
It is tough. It is tough. I know Johnny Johnson is so tempting.
That unnecessary analogy brought to you by the Tecmo Madison tournament.
Thank you very much. Now let's bring it back to the Chargers.
The Soby have enough magic. He's been basically dialing it in the entire. He has come back a lot of times in this tournament.
I've actually been surprised at Soby's defense. The man has allowed Bontempo to run his preferred. Wow, I'm
converting a huge fourth down.
That is a bold conversion. But I'd just like to point out that Soby's been allowing Bontempo to run his offense the entire game.
Bird for the completion. Bird is the word. Just in his grill.
The diver to Vance Jones.
I mean, you need to score before the end of the half. I don't know why he's running here.
No, this is the third quarter.
I know you need to score before the third quarter because you've got a kickoff that's going to run off a bunch of time. You managed to punch it.
I think Soby needs to done it. I think honestly, at 15 seconds to go in the quarter, with Bontempo's play style, I think Soby needs to go up the outside.
And Bontempo has just turned the hat backwards. What does that mean?
I think Soby's dialing up the outside here.
More games. You've got to outside.
He doesn't get the second bounce.
You can't run 30 seconds off the clock. Now, is Bontempo
Hold it together to be in the Final Four.
Is he going to go conservative here?
I think he's going up high and he's going to be running
A big sack. Big sack.
And we have yet another token update from Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta now with their backups in defense. Tim Rosenbach throws meaningless touchdown.
Oh my God!
10 points on the board for the Cardinals. 38-10 at the last play of the game, and we're now final.
Thank you, man.
And Bontempo with a sick run. My God!
Bontempo just knows what he's doing. I don't know how he does it, but the man knows how to play Soby. It is a bold play. It is a bold playbook. You go Soby finally gets going right in.
Maybe a possible field goal attempt, but probably a punt coming on.
I've got to say, the play calling from Bontempo has been absolutely masterful in this game. Masterful.
You've got to think about Kubiak. If you're going to start airing it out.
Here comes Kubiak.
Kubiak's been in for a while. He has been trying to throw deep. He has been trying to throw deep. As you notice, Humphrey is at that bottom, that RB2 position. He's trying to isolate Humphrey at that top. Here comes pass 2. He's trying to isolate Humphrey. Now, I'm not. Here's the thing. Bird knows what he's doing, but so does Soby.
That's funny.
Just happened.
And Soby goes in on the
3.5 to go.
Soby goes in on the inside.
Can Jimmy's predictable offense?
And Jimmy, hold on. That is a look of concern on his face.
It certainly is, man.
Well, now once again, are you going, oh, so we got to go full kick? I don't like this maneuver, man.
I mean, if you've got him on the ropes, why not go?
But with a Bontempo offense, one first down, game's over. With the amount of time Bontempo spends in between plays in his running game, you're running off a lot of Tecmo.
He is going to grind some clock here. Just call me.
Bold decision by Bontempo. However, that Broncos secondary is god awful. It is horrible. But
So what is Jimmy? Is he going to go Bontempo here? I think he is.
No. I think Jimmy has learned from his mistake. He'll take his 4 yards.
Oh my!
Bontempo goes over to Cox.
With a Mort-like pass. Rolling the dice.
What's your decision on that one, Matt? That's a rough pass. You got to go to Miller. I mean, you think Miller in that position, you're going to Cox.
You're trying to find the open guy, and he's just going to start grinding it out.
He's going to grind it out.
All right. He seems like he's back in himself right now.
I think that the bomb definitely flustered him. The bomb flustered him.
I like this rapid style offense, knowing that Butters has bigger threats. Jimmy continues to call pass balls, so he's simply defending butts on the run 3.
It's a bold decision by Jimmy. Jimmy's definitely calling pass. He's calling pass. He's just running out of bounds.
A key point that needs to be mentioned is that Tolliver is clearly off. Jimmy Bontempo calling down B and just scrambling for 4 yards easily.
And there's Bontempo. He breaks it back. I would like to point this out. Jimmy never out-taps anyone, so the fact that he was able to out-tap the computer is bold. That is a big point in his favor.
I did not think he would bust it back inside.
And he runs it again. The man is wearing out my game.
He's just gambling.
And that's your
House money.
I will admit, I heard this in the crowd. I will have to agree.
Watch this run two.
Is Jim Bontempo a master of his craft? Does the man know how to wear out that right A and run with the quarterback?
Tempting to throw it there, but he keeps it.
I don't think he's
brings
going
it
to
in,
throw.
running some
I
clock.
don't think he's going to throw. I think, in fact, this might be a down A.
He's got to get out of bounds.
At this point, you don't want to
Just kill clock. And there's
It's the icing on the cake.
Zero reaction from the crowd.
James Bond. Game over! Local favorite.
So we now will
Man from Wisconsin.
our final game is going to be Jimmy against Mort. We're going to set up for a repeat champion for the first time.
Jimmy Bontempo, the master of run 3, to the point where it is his last name.
I picked up a dime on garbage for Soby. He's not going to take this loss very well.
That's a rough game. Jimmy! And we have a 30-14 victory for James Bontempo. Air Bontempo. So we're going to go live now to Jimmy Bontempo. So, Jim, so how was that game? How did that feel for you out there on the game today?
I'll tell you what, it felt good, and I got to take it all to my new high-profile air attack offense.
Well, looking at the stats, you're looking at 26 runs for 235. Did you feel confident with your running game, or is this just Bontempo being Bontempo?
I think it was a bit of an anomaly.
All right.
How concerned were you after leading 21-7? Where you changed any touchdown, 21-14. Were you concerned?
It was tough. I know Soby's a good player. I thought he was going to come back. But with all I knew the Tecmo guys were going to hold out for me. But as you see all the nonsense I got on those down 3 runs, one thing I felt bad.
All right. And we're going to go to King Soby and Mike Graces with an interview. So, Soby, that's got to be a tough loss to go in the Final Four. I mean, what are your thoughts right now?
It sucks, but I mean, I'm here to spend time with all the guys I don't see for more than once a year, and Jimmy's a great competitor, and I consider him a good friend at this point.
All right. Is this gonna return you to practicing, or are you just gonna do once a year now back to Madison?
I'm never going to practice again.
I like it. Final Four with no practice is a bold move, and I respect your skills.
And we're looking to see you perform something very
There's another game. You're not done, sir. There's third, fourth place game. There's a third, fourth place game. So you and Seth can work that out with a fist fight or whatever you want. But there you go. Thanks for talking to us. All right, moving right along, we also have loser. We have Seth, the Tecmo Virtuoso, who lost the game against Mort. It is a similar story going to an end. So, Seth, who called the matchup, the Falcons-Cardinals matchup?
Mort called the matchup.
So what led you to the Cardinals and then
I like their two safeties. So based on the formations that I see, I've got options on defense. It turned out not to matter.
All right.
Yeah. So good at spreading that ball around. Yeah. If I call the run and Mort call the pass, I was in big trouble.
But offensively, how were you? I mean, I saw a lot of picks. I saw a lot of, it was a bad game for you offensively.
Yeah, it was. No, it was terrible. I mean, Dion is one of the fastest guys in the game, so he's hard to move the ball against. And I wasn't winning. I didn't win. I couldn't win a tapping match, so I had to avoid him. And it got to the point where I was down, and I wasn't comfortable just chucking it up. I was still wanting to try and move the ball. And the longer my possessions were, the more likely I was to turn it over. And it happened. And that's how it happened.
Tell you what, the thing with the Phoenix Cardinals is it is tough to come back.
Because they are grinding out for a team. Perhaps looking back at it, perhaps I should have taken the Falcons. Maybe spread him out a little bit. I don't know.
Well, you live and you learn.
He's awesome.
You live and you learn. You had a wonderful tournament.
You've got a year to think about it.
The man is the defending champion.
The man is the defending champion
for no reason.
He knows all the atmosphere. He knows what's going on. Can we look forward to see you back to future Madison tournaments?
Yeah, I would like to think so. Got my first child on the way, so after that, it's kind of a who knows. I had a lot of fun.
But if you could come, you'd come back.
Absolutely. And I would suggest it to anyone. It's a great time.
Good having you.
It's a spectacle.
Oh, that's good to have you. Thanks for talking with us, Seth.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck. Good luck in your next game. Thank you very much. Apparently, I play the best in the world.
He's pretty good.
All right.
Sure he is. If it's not, this is just a tribute.
And one last treat for us. We have final participant, defending champion, the man who has braved 142 participants to get to where he is today, Francis Boonagel. Welcome back. Congratulations on your championship game.
Thank you.
So, what led you to think the Falcons-Cardinals is a matchup?
I had a whole list of matchups. This is all this information in my pocket, and I came down to it. I was thinking I like either team. I know I can play with either team, and then when I got ahead, played smart, and then he started to make mistakes, and I kept getting ahead more. And just wait for the next game.
Were you hoping for him to take the Cardinals, or was that just you wanted the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Why did you want the Cardinals?
I wanted the two safeties instead of Deion Sanders up top.
Okay, so you were actually after the defensive side. You weren't thinking offense. You were thinking defense purely.
I don't know what I'm thinking this game.
For that last one, you were definitely thinking defense.
Yeah, I was thinking defense first. Interceptions, and then running the ball. Either team has the same type of running back. And plus, Arizona would have a little better run blocking. And then I was going to go around to the QB.
All right.
But then, you know what? I managed to open up the offense anyways.
Were you surprised with how open the offense was getting? We were watching the screen.
When he gets his run like that, even though he has a great defensive back, he was also shading a little towards Rising sometimes, and other times it's just arrow trick got him once. I knew he's a newer player, and I have garbage like that. I'll always give a newer player an arrow trick, see how he handles it.
So Mort, you've been in a lot of finals in the last year. What do you attribute that to? How do you get past all the basically luck? I mean, you've got fumbles, you've got interceptions that you've got to overcome. How have you been able to basically keep winning games?
I'm playing a game, and in that game, I'm getting my ass kicked, and I'm playing like total shit. Then I come back and win, and I play really hard, and I kick my ass somehow I come back. It's a good thing I come back. But after that game, I'm like, it was like a change. It's like I can do this. And also, two other things, motivation. Last year, we went up to Lambeau Field, my team, went into the Hall of Fame for the Packers, looked around, and it was really inspiring. This year, the guy was talking to me about the picture of Rocky Marciano, reminded me of the fight where Marciano almost won. He's getting his ass beat. He said the guy was like Iron, like in Rocky IV. He's like Iron. And then in the last round, his cuts were so bad, and he told himself, and he was told, you put him down here or you lose. He put him down.
All right.
Staggered around. They said in the fight, he staggered around, came back, he won.
All right, well, not to give too much away before the official coin toss, but what are you thinking? You've got Jimmy Bontempo, a guy who runs with the quarterback, a guy who runs that down three. You played the HSTL with him. You played online with him. You know his game plan. You know
we go way back. We both started in the same Tecmo.
Are you thinking low tier, high tier?
Yeah. Well, what tier do you think about the matchup? All right. So do you have a matchup in mind, or are you just gonna play it by ear depending on the coin toss?
I have no idea. Now I haven't played them in a while.
So you're gonna wait till that coin toss and figure what's going on?
I'm gonna start looking at some stuff after this.
All right. Well, we're gonna bring you up to the final. We have the official coin toss. So good luck with that, champ.
I'm hoping I lose.
Yeah. Oh, good luck, man. I think this just goes to show the power of Francis's jersey. He's bringing the 42 lot jersey. It's worked for him a couple times. This is what happens. Former champion Kevin Miller. So we're bringing up winner of Tecmo 6 Cup, Kevin Miller. Once again,
championship on the left TV between Jim Bontempo and Francis Mort on the right TV. We'll have the third place game between Best in World and Seth Bachelor.
so for those of you who want to know, like Brewdog, the Denver-San Diego matchup was called by ... Did Jimmy call that San Diego? Jimmy Bontempo.